Welcome back to the crypto world. My name is Josh, and right now the price of Ethereum is currently testing this very important support level. This is a make or break moment for Ethereum, and in just a moment I'll be getting into my next Ethereum price targets and my Ethereum strategy moving forward. And later in this video I will provide you a follow-up on all of the altcoins that I was talking about yesterday here on the channel. So that is of course Ethereum, Cardano, Solana, and Algorand. So definitely make sure you're watching all the way to the end of the video so that you're not missing out on all of this valuable information. And if that sounds good to you, just before we jump into it, make sure to drop a like on the video down below. And if you're new to the channel, you might as well subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so that you're not missing out on any of these future videos. It only takes a couple seconds out of your day to do that, and it really means a lot to me, and it seriously helps out the channel so much. But anyway, with all of that out of the way, let's get straight into what this video is about. So right here, we're on the Ethereum to US dollar chart on the 4-hour time frame, and as you can see here, just as I was mentioning in the intro of the video, we are indeed coming into contact with this really important support level. I let you guys know hours ago over on my Twitter that Ethereum is getting ready for its next low. As you can see here, back when Ethereum was at these higher prices, I said Ethereum's about to form its next low, likely over the next 1, maybe 2 days. And obviously, if the price remains in the higher low structure that it has been in, then that would be great for the bulls out there. But if not, then a break of that higher low structure, a break of this support would mean that the bears are still in control in the short term here at least. And just before I started recording this video, I actually gave you guys a follow-up tweet on the fact that we are currently retesting this right now. So once again, if you want to get all of these real-time updates to know exactly what's happening in the market at all times, definitely check out my Twitter. The link to my Twitter is in the description down below. Now, this level that I'm watching right now is currently coming in at around 3,240 approximately. So as I said on Twitter, basically in between 3.2 to 3.3 thousand is the range that I'm actually watching for Ethereum. And also just below that, of course, we have the 50-day exponential moving average. That's what this yellow line is just here. And that is currently coming in at around 3,150. So really, if we start breaking below that moving average, so basically if we get below 3.1K down towards 3,000 again, and actually see some candle closes down there, not just a quick wick like what we saw during that flash crash, then that is how you know that we are continuing in this short-term bearish trend at the very least. So seriously, we are in a deciding moment right now, because if we can get this bounce just here, like all of these previous times that we've bounced along this line, as you can see here, if we can get another bounce along this line of support, then that could potentially form a W pattern for Ethereum, which is technically speaking a bullish pattern if, of course, we can come back up and break past the middle neckline just here, which that level that we need to break above, this resistance level, is coming in at just above 3,500, closer towards 3.6K. But obviously, we haven't confirmed a bounce just yet, so let's not get ahead of ourselves, because right now it still remains a possibility that we could actually break this support level. If we do see another bounce along this level, what I would like to see to actually confirm that bounce is 1 or 2 green candles pretty much starting right now. And by the way, the candles that I'm looking for here is of course on the 4-hour time frame, this chart that I'm on right now. But if we do not end up seeing that bounce and we actually start breaking this support just here, then the technical price target for Ethereum would essentially be this head and shoulders price target. As you can see, we formed this left shoulder here, or you could maybe even use this as a left shoulder, but either way, we've pretty much got this left shoulder here. We've already seen the head, and of course now we've seen the right shoulder. So this is a giant head and shoulders pattern on the 4-hour time frame. And now bringing out the exact price target for this pattern, if we break the neckline, the price target is coming in at around 2,360. So I'll pretty much just call that 2.4K. And as I covered in yesterday's video, there's something really interesting about that exact price target. That is actually the yearly trend line for Ethereum, coming in at pretty much exactly 2.4K. And also, as I covered yesterday, bringing out the Fibonacci retracement tool, we have the golden pocket starting at around 2.6K and going down towards 2.5K. So in that little range just there, which is coming in just before the technical price target down at 2.4, I would also expect some major supports at around that range just there. But once again, those price targets do not come into play while we are still above these current support lines that we're holding above right now. I'm just letting you guys know of some potential price targets in case we do end up seeing this breakdown. We could perhaps enter a short position here with a stop loss just back above this line of support in case we see a fake out. But obviously, I don't actually recommend trading Ethereum like that for the complete beginners out there. Make sure you know what you're doing before you start trading. But for any of you that want to know what's involved in trading and how to actually open positions and close positions, all of that sort of stuff, I actually have a full tutorial video linked in the description description down below that shows you exactly how I trade, alongside the platforms that I actually use to trade crypto as well. Once again, you'll find that in the description. And if we can see this bounce in Ethereum over the next few hours, honestly, that would be amazing to see, not just because we would see a bounce in the price, but obviously in the RSI just here, this would form a new higher low in the RSI if we do see a bounce along this support. And obviously forming a higher low structure in the RSI on the 4-hour time frame is actually a good sign. That would be a sign of Ethereum gaining strength again, which is one of the early signs of a potential recovery. But once again, that all rests on the shoulders of whether or not we hold this support right now. And just in case we do end up getting a bounce and actually breaking out to the upside here, the technical price target for that potential W pattern that we would be forming if we actually see the bounce, once again, the technical price target is coming in at around 3.9k, which is also pretty close to all of this resistance up here. Other than that, there's not really too much else that I need to update you guys about on Ethereum. For the brand new viewers on the channel that missed my previous videos that I uploaded yesterday, after you finish watching this video, definitely go back on my channel and check out the video that I uploaded yesterday for Ethereum, because in that video, I actually provided a lot more analysis on Ethereum. This is basically just a quick follow-up for everything that I've said since yesterday. And now just giving you guys a quick follow-up on Cardano. Of course, I covered Cardano in more detail in my video yesterday on the channel. This is just a quick follow-up. As you can see here, right now, we have actually seen one more bounce along the 50-day exponential moving average. That's what this yellow line is right here. And that is currently coming in at about $2.25. But of course, it is at the moment gaining to the upside. And also, if we can see that bounce in Ethereum, it's likely to carry over to Cardano as well. And if that's the case, then we would potentially be forming a higher low and also a higher low in the RSI, which is a good sign in the short term. That is a sign of the bears losing steam and potentially the bulls gaining strength again. And now if Cardano can see this bounce just here and actually complete the same W pattern that I was just talking about for Ethereum, in this case for Cardano, the resistance line that we need to break above for the W pattern is coming in at around $2.62. If we can get above that level, then the technical price target for Cardano would be coming in at around $3 per Cardano. But when you're zooming out on the daily time frame, this RSI still doesn't look too good for Cardano. I'm not gonna lie, it is in a pretty strong downtrend. But keep in mind, as I explained also in more detail yesterday, this doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to have a major crash or anything, because last time that this actually happened, we basically entered a huge sideways consolidation for Cardano for pretty much around 2 to 2.5 months. So just keep that in mind as well. On the daily time frame, we could be about to enter a bit more of a boring time period for Cardano, especially if we hold above these levels just here. Probably the only factor at this stage for Cardano for some major bullish price action is, of course, the upgrade that Cardano is meant to get in just a couple days from now, which is, of course, bringing smart contracts to Cardano for the first time in its history. That upgrade is obviously a massive upgrade for Cardano, and clearly it is fundamentally bullish for Cardano, but keep in mind that sometimes those fundamental upgrades might not have an immediate effect on the price, but definitely in the longer term, smart contracts are going to be very bullish for Cardano if all goes well. So even if we do play out a little bit more bearish price action here in the long term, if you're a long-term holder for Cardano, this will actually provide some amazing opportunities to pick up cheap Cardano to hold for the longer term. That would simply be a part of my overall crypto strategy. Of course, always do your own research as well, but that's just pretty much what I would be looking at. Now, just a really quick update on Algorand. Once again, this was one of your most suggested altcoins over the last couple of days, and I included it in yesterday's video, providing more of a detailed analysis in that video. So this is just a quick follow-up. And as you can see here, bringing out the Fibonacci retracement tool from this previous high just here down to this swing low. This move actually topped out at the exact 1618 Fibonacci level, coming in at pretty much exactly $2.50. I'll probably give Algorand 1 to 2 days to get above that level just there and actually flip this daily candle back into a green daily candle. But if Algorand cannot do that, if we actually close this daily candle as a red daily candle, and even more importantly, if we see another red daily candle, then it's basically confirmed at that stage that the $2.50 level was the top for this run, and we're actually due for quite a lot of bearish price action coming next for Algorand. So basically right now, I would definitely not be entering this altcoin. In fact, I would honestly be taking profits at these extremely high levels, because we're also overbought on the daily RSI as well, just like every other time that Algorand has topped out in its previous price history, as you can see see here. Now, just giving you guys a quick update on Solana. Once again, for the new viewers on the channel, I had more of a detailed analysis on Solana in yesterday's video, but this is just going to be a quick follow-up. As you can see here, Solana is indeed heading to the downside after just yesterday I pointed out that bearish divergence and of course this rising wedge pattern, which technically speaking is a bearish pattern. So far from the top in Solana, we're currently down nearly 20%. In fact, from this week low just here, around 22%. Now, when you're looking at the linear chart, we've actually got this line of support, as you can see just here. That right now is currently coming in at around $165 for Solana. But going back to the logarithmic chart and looking at the technical price target for this rising wedge pattern, as I mentioned yesterday, that's currently coming in at pretty much these lows just here at around $135, give or take. So from the current price of Solana to this initial line of supports, that would be around another 8 to 9% drop, but down to that technical price target for the rising wedge, down to these previous support levels, once again, that is still another 22% drop from the current price of Solana, and from the all-time high down to those levels, that will be a total of around a 36 to 37% drop. Now, obviously, some short-term bearish price action is completely to be expected after this huge run that Solana has had over the last 7 to 8 weeks. So right now, basically, Solana could be in a bit of a short-term cool-off. If you're a super long-term investor, perhaps dollar cost averaging if you're holding for the long term could be a strategy, but always do that at your own risk, especially after such a huge run-up. As for any investment, you're actually much safer buying into an investment if it's already had a major correction to the downside, like what we saw during July only a couple months ago, once again, when Solana was at around $20 to $30. After that huge drawback in the price, those were the safest times to actually accumulate Solana. But right now, I'm not going to lie, it's actually not as safe right now to accumulate Solana, at least compared to where we were in July. But once again, feel free to come up with your own strategy. Obviously, Solana's fundamentals are amazing, and I myself, I do actually consider Solana as a long-term hold, but please always do your own research as well. And once again, if you want to get these extra updates throughout the day in real time, definitely make sure you're checking out my Twitter. The link to my Twitter is in the description down below. But anyway, that's just about everything I have to say for this video. I really hope you enjoyed, and if you did, be sure to drop a like down below. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to this channel with notifications turned on for more videos like this one. I really appreciate all of your support on the channel at the moment. I can't thank you guys enough. But anyway, that's really everything I have to say for this video. Once again, I really hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next video.